Hi, this is Ivy from Scrappy Mania, and today I want to show you how to create these sprays. I love the sprays, but I wanted to do it on my own because they're kind of a little pricey. They're usually like $6 or $7 a piece per spray, and your layouts could come, pretty expensive by using these sprays and stuff like that. So I did find some flowers that are similar to that in the craft store. And I found some beads that look similar to this. Plus, I'm going to show you how to use cardstock too. I mean, it's not going to be the same, but it might be something, it's going to look similar. And then I'm going to show you a layout in where I use one of my homemade sprays and put it on a layout. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a similar one this is the first one that I did. I mean, it's not perfect. But the second one that I did, it looks a lot better, and once you see it on the layout, it'll look good. But I'm going to show you how to do this. What you're going to need is some wires. So you need to get some floral wire and some floral tape. Now, I'm not the greatest at this stuff, so I'm just learning how to do it. But once you put embellishments and stuff around it, it does look kind of cute. So you're going to need this. You're going to need some flowers like I have here. I purchased a big bag of flowers at Joann's, and they had a 30% off sale on them. So I got a bunch for I think like $2.49. You're gonna need some beads. Now I could not find the teardrop beads, so I'm gonna use some regular beads. And then I could not find the leaves beads. They didn't have it available. So what I did is I have a Martha Stewart punch for a leaf, and I'm going to use these as my leaf. And then I'm also going to add a little butterfly in there. And let me show you how you create these. Now, hopefully I don't get, it's kind of, I have my beads set aside for my flower. I'll show you how to use that in a moment. But what I do is I take some distressing ink. So let me cut this out. I wanted to get a nicer green color. So I took some distressing ink, and I'm using peel paint. And I like to use like a tile surface. I've been using this lately because it's easy to clean, and it's nice and firm. So I really like that. So I'm going to put some distressing ink around the edges, and then you're going to take your punch. And in order to make the flower, you cut one punch out, and then you need to do the same inking treatment on the other side, because you need to turn it over and then cut the next flower, the other leaf, so that way it'll be a perfect mirror image. Otherwise, it's kind of off center a little bit. Then you're going to take some glue, and I'm going to put some glue on my leaf. Then I'm going to put it down and match it up. And that's why I like to use liquid glue, because I can really play with it a little bit in order to make sure that it match up. Then you take some more of your sponge with the remaining ink, and just ink the edges. And then the next thing you need to do is make the holes in order to insert your wire. So you need some kind of needle or hole puncher. And I usually just use this hole puncher that I have. And careful not to kind of put a hole on in your finger, or to pierce your finger. But you can also use a cork, a square cork, in order to punch your holes. So there you have it. So I got 2 holes, and that's where I'm going to feed my wire. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. So you're going to need for this one has like 13 different little pieces. All these are little pieces, like this is another piece, and so forth. So in order to make a nice full spread like this, I'm going to use about 10 to 12 wires. So this is my first wire, and you cut it like 10 to 11 inches would be more than enough for your wire. Okay, you thread it to the first hole, then you thread the second hole, and then you wind it around. And I like to put it flat on the surface because I'm not a perfect, I don't know how to make beads, jewelry or anything, so I'm not real good with this wire. But it works for me to put it on a flat surface. Make like a little knot there, like you see there, so that way it won't fall off. And then just twist the rest, holding that so you don't break your paper. Just do the rest. Okay, and that's my first little leaf. Let me go ahead and let the dog in and I'll be back. Okay, so now let me show you how to create this flower. See, we're gonna create that flower. So I'm gonna take, I need another wire, about 10 inches. I need a bead, so I'm gonna use a small bead for the center. Then you're gonna feed it in about 5 to 6 inches into the wire. That's like 5 inches. Actually 3 inches into the wire. So 3 inches into the wire, and then turn it over, bend it down, and smooth it out. Now take your flower, just thread it through. Again, put it on a flat surface like I'm doing here, and kind of wind the short flower. Make a knot, kind of, if you can, make a knot at the bottom. And I know there's probably a better way to do it. If you know how to play with wires, you probably could do it a better job than I do. But all this is going to be hidden once we get the floral tape in place. So then just wind it around. Yeah. So what you want to make is like a little knot there, or wind enough of the wire around there. Just keep winding it around until you make like a little knot, or a little something that's going to hold that bead that's not going to slide down, because the hold of the flower is pretty big. Once you have accomplished that, like I did there, see, it won't come down, then it's good. And then when we put our tape, it's going to hide it even more. So then that's how you do your flower. Now the next thing I'm going to teach you is how to do a butterfly. So did the same thing. I cut two mirror image. So so you put the cardstock here and you punch it, and then you turn it over the cardstock and punch it again. And that will make an exact mirror copy of that punch. Put 2 holes. And then I'm going to take another wire and thread it down in one hole, and then thread the other end through the other hole. Okay, and then you do the same thing. This one is easy to put it flat on a surface and wind the wire around, and then around. Okay, so there's another one. And then I'm going to teach you how to do, then you're going to grab a bead, and you can, because I don't have, if you have teardrop beads, it will look even nicer, but I don't really have any. And like I said, I could not find any on my local craft store that I liked. There were some, but they were like plastic. And I didn't really like the look. It wasn't as shiny as I like these. See how shiny these are? These. So I'm just going to use this. That's fine. Instead of a teardrop, it's going to have little balls of pearls or something like that. And then you this one's easy to wind. Just wind it around and it will grab. Okay, so there. So I'm going to go ahead and create some more. So I will make like 5 flowers, 2 butterflies, maybe 4 leaves, maybe 3 of these. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, and before I forget, I forgot to do these little treatment coils too. Will look very cute because as you can see here in this one, it had some treatment, some coils. Let me open it up so you can see, just in case the glare is pretty, it's messing up for you to appreciate this spray. But see how it has coils there, and there. So let's go ahead and do some of these coils. I'll show you how to do that one and that one. So we're going to take another wire, and you're going to take, I'm going to use a skewer, and you basically just go around 3 or 4 times and then pull it out. So there's one little coil. Now if you want to do the double coil, then go down. So take it out, go down, bring back your skewer, and then go around it again like 3 times, and then pull it out, and then kind of bring it in a little like that, push it in, and there's your coil. So I'm going to make some more off camera. I'll make some more flowers, some more leaves, and then I'm going to teach you how to put the floral tape around it, and we'll go from there. I'll be back. Okay, I went ahead and put floral tape on all my sprigs that I have here. I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm not the best on doing it either, so you might want to look and see how to do it professionally on the internet. But what I do is I take the top of my tape and just try to make it a nice little wrap on the top here, and then I start twirling like on an angle the floral tape and just go down the stem, as you can see there. And this tape is pretty forgiving. And I like to make it tight, so I keep kind of rolling it to make sure that's nice and tight around my wire. And keep twirling it down. And see how it gets unraveled? But if you take and you kind of hold it on top and keep twirling it down like this, it looks okay. Now I'm just going to cut it. And let's do it another one. And all this, you're going to hide all this anyhow. But that's how I do it. I mean, there's probably a better way to doing it, but that's how I do it. It's coming out okay. Now, you're going to do all your pieces. You're going to put some floral tape, except for your little coils. You don't want to put your coils with floral tape. You want to leave them like it is. So now we're going to start assembling our flower. Okay, so then make sure you have your floral tape available. So now let's go to assembling our flowers. So this flower would be my top flower. So there, sorry that I'm a little off camera, but what I'm doing is I'm mainly putting one of those coil wire that I made, and I'm putting that on the top. And then I'm just placing a bead and a flower, and then I'm putting it all together with the floral tape. So you're going to use the floral tape to kind of hide where you meet, where you attach each of these strands, like you see there. And then I'm going to just place another, now I'm going to put my leaf and just going to go ahead and wrap that around with my floral tape. And don't forget to also wrap it around the main wire that's going down the side, like you can see there. Before I even wrap it on with the floor tape, I kind of wrap it on to the other flowers and to the body of the spray. Okay. So you keep adjoining, you alternate between either the coil or the bead or however you like it. And I don't like to make it too sprayed out. I like to keep it more in a linear fashion. As you can see there, it's not kind of just spread all the way out. And I can always kind of move them or change a little bit, make it closer to the spray or spread it out from the spray once I attach it all and put it on the page. So that's what I like about these things. I can I have a little more flexibility of how it's gonna look once I place it on the page. Then I'm gonna put another coil, and I'm still putting some more. I still have some more. Now this one is a lot bigger than the second one that I made and the one that I'm gonna use to make my double spread layout, and you'll see that in a second. Oh, my single spread layout, I'm sorry. I just made one page. And then as you can see, I started putting two together, two of the like that one, it's the leaf and a bead. I started to putting them together, putting some, I'm putting them together, and then I'm putting some floral tape, and then I'm putting them on my spray there. I'm doing the same thing with the that's a flower and a leaf. Okay, so that one's gonna go on the right, and then the other one I'm gonna put on the left, and kind of wrap some more floral tape around the whole thing. So once you get everything in together, you go ahead and wrap the floral tape all the way to the bottom. And then after I do that, I'm just gonna make a coil at the end. And there's my spray. So now I'm gonna use some glue to because I'm using cardstock to make the butterfly and leaf, and I wanted to have it kind of stay still. So you're gonna use a little glue to kind of hold it in place. And there is my sprig, or my spray. It's kind of cute. It's not, it's not completely perfect, but it's kind of cute. So I'm going to show you one that I already made, and I'm going to show you the layout. So once you kind of put it on your layout, it's going to look very nice. So let me move the stuff around, and I'll be back, and we're going to put a layout together using one of the sprigs that I have created prior to this one.